Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for giving me the opportunity and the honor to be presenting here at the Shanghai Blockchain Week. I would like to thank the hosts, and I would like to thank the Wanxiang Group and ITOS for giving me here the chance to present what I believe is a very exciting proposition to apply decentralized technologies, blockchain, but also decentralized identities, to a very important topic in most of our lives, mobility in the urban space, urban mobility, meaning mobility in cities. My name is Harry Behrens. I'm German. I'm a computer scientist. I'm a software engineer. I've worked in software all my life. I have a PhD from the University of Tokyo on distributed AI. I have a master's from the Technical University of Munich, the Munich Institute of Technology, also from AI on neural networks. And only 6 years ago did I join a big corporation for the first time in my life, and luck as it is, made this corporation be Daimler. For those of you who do not know the Daimler brand so well, Daimler is the company that invented the car. It's the company that owns the Mercedes brand. Daimler is the company that invented car sharing. We invented Car2Go. And Daimler is the company that actually invented mobility as a service with a company called Mover, which is now called ReachNow. I joined Daimler, of all places, in Beijing actually, working for MBAFC, Mercedes-Benz Auto Finance Group China. I think the name just changed to Daimler Financial Services China in the recent month. And at first I was in charge for core systems, then for mobility and digital finance. But very soon I graduated basically to becoming the blockchain expert, and I managed to convince the board of management of Daimler Financial Services, as we were still called at that time, in headquarters, that decentralized technologies and blockchain will change not only finance, but also industry and also mobility. I was given the unique opportunity, the very special honor, and the great joy of setting up the Daimler Mobility Blockchain Factory, a team, a department dedicated to applying decentralized technologies to the purpose of mobility, of automating mobility, of optimizing services in and around what we used to call CASE, connected, autonomous services and electrification in the area of mobility. Why is it connected? Connected cars, rolling computers by now, giving you data at all points in time, autonomous and automated cars, cars being less and less bought in order to be utilized, but more and more delivered as services, and electrification. This year, Daimler and us agreed to the fact that blockchain is a revolutionary technology. It needs speed. It's technology-driven. Therefore, we decided to take what was developed over 3 years within Daimler Mobility, and we worked with the best of the best in the European blockchain space. We worked with 51 nodes, with Riddle and Code, with Spherity, and by the way, we also worked with Ontology, who is actually related to a very famous Chinese group around the Neo blockchain led by Da Hongfei. We decided, okay, let us spin this off now, because an independent startup can move much faster than a big corporation. An independent startup can get mutual investors, capital investors, to drive innovation, to drive transformation at a speed that is simply not possible for a large corporation. That happened in May 2021. We went into probably Europe's most recognized startup accelerator in the field of blockchain, namely Outlier Ventures. We collected investment. By now, since May, we have collected more than $3 million in seed investment. We are looking at, realistically speaking, collecting another 2 to 3 million in the next half year. So we are well funded over the next 3-4 years. On top of that, and that is the most important thing, because there is no business without customers and partners, we have already by now more than 10 cooperations where we cooperate with blue chip, golden name, European companies, among them Flixbus, And if you don't know Flixbus, you might know Greyhound, and Flixbus just bought Greyhound a couple of days ago. 50 Hertz, which is one of the 4 big German energy operators that carry power as a backbone. S-Payment, which is the biggest German retail payment company, and we are acquiring new partners, I would say, roughly at the rate of 1 or 2 a month. So we are getting very strong traction in Europe. We are well funded. We have been working actually also with Chinese companies. The company we are here with today is the Wanxiang blockchain group, and we have been working with them already for more than 1.5 years. So we are very, very well established in the field of decentralized mobility. Now, what's the field and what's the challenge? Well, urban mobility is faced by a lot of challenges. You were in Shanghai. Shanghai is actually very well organized. Go to other cities, you will find it more difficult. But climate, electrification, and digitization is what is going to transform, what is going to disrupt the way mobility is delivered and is used in the urban space, meaning in cities. Climate keeps warming up. We're all concerned about emissions. We need to do something about it. China has very clearly declared China wants to become carbon neutral by 2060. Germany, I believe, is even a little bit ahead of that. We have declared more or less to be carbon neutral by 2040. And one of the companies we partner with, 50 Hertz, is already more than 60% of their power is generated by renewable energies today. And they expect to be at 100% in definitely less than 5 or 10 years. Traffic congestion is increasing. Anyway, there's also another mega trend which comes on top here, which is that people are leaving the countrysides and coming more and more to the cities, because the cities is where the economic life currently tends to be, where the opportunities are. So cities are getting more and more populated, and we need to find a way to let that not result in more and more congestion, and most of all, it must not result in more and more congestion, which on top of slowing things down, is also emitting poisonous gases such as carbon dioxide or nitrogen dioxide. And the opportunity now that is coming through technology, and right now, we believe a lot of the technologies to make the world a better place actually lie in technology. Automobiles are already completely connected devices. You can think of them as a rolling edge computer. They have incredible amounts of data which they produce, where they are, what they produce, how much fuel, what their state of electricity is, how is the battery charged, and they communicate that at any point in time over the internet. Vehicles, hopefully, more and more, and in China you see that development very fast, will become electric. Diesel and gasoline will be less and less welcome in the urban space. There will be intelligence. You will have now a car, because it is an edge computer, it can be controlled like software. So all of a sudden, and that is where autonomous driving comes in, mobility becomes a software application. And because of congestion, it is impossible for every single person to own their own car to transport one person or maybe 2 persons, which together weigh less than 150 kilograms, in a piece of metal that weighs 105 tons and 1.5 tons and emits I don't know how much CO2. That is obviously an incredibly inefficient way of moving. So you need to share resource in order to achieve efficient resource allocation and be able to do what seems like magic, but is actually true through the sharing of resources, have more mobility with less congestion and less vehicles. And that is only possible by sharing resources, by using mobility as a service. So mobility as a service is what we came here to apply decentralized technologies to. The challenge, as you look at it now, as this exciting business, as this exciting industry is developing, for the end customer, it's very, very fragmented. Maybe in China less so, and I will get to that, because in China, from what I understand, you have 1 or 2 very, very, very big operators that essentially handle almost all of mobility for most cities. But in Europe, you have 10 different providers for each major city. And you have, Europe is a very fragmented place. You have, I don't know how many hundreds of cities where urban mobility is delivered. So every time you want to use this blue scooter or that yellow car, you need, again, to onboard, to register, to provide your passport, your credit card, and. You need to check out an invoice for each app separately. Imagine doing that and filing travel expenses. And you do repeated sign-on and sign-off, which also, by the way, brings a great deal of data insecurity, because now your credit card data and your addresses are not in one safe, secure place, like decentralized, cryptographically secure identities provided, but they're all over the place in the databases of people whose specialty is not to protect your data. Their specialty is to drive mobility services. And that is not a very secure way of handling your data. Now, for the B2B side, meaning the providers, the operators, the companies that actually offer the services. Now, what is the big opportunity here? I mentioned Uber, I mentioned DiDi earlier. For the end customer, a major big platform like those is very comfortable. You have the one Uber, the one DiDi app, and through that you can access everything. But think about the power and the potential for abuse that such a large operator has acquired. Think of it. Because I can now talk safely about operators in Europe. A company like Uber has all the customer relationship. They have all the data. They are the ones that can apply machine learning, data analysis, etc., to that data, which are customers that are not their customers. They are customers in reality of the companies that are delivering the mobility services, of that driver or this driver, but the central platform takes that customer relationship, becomes rich, and becomes powerful on the back of the companies that provide that service. And that is something that policymakers have recognized in the US, in Europe, and from what I hear, actually also in China. Decentralized technology, such as blockchain and such as decentralized identifiers, offer a way out of it. They scale just as well. They are fully automated. They are indeed more secure because of the cryptographic elements than anything out there. But most of all, they allow each and every company to keep the most valuable asset any service company in the world has. What is the most valuable asset your company has? Think about it, your customer. Using decentralized technologies, you keep your customers, but you run a shared platform based on the decentralized technology, such as that which we provide. So, how does the solution look? We provide you with a platform where you do one-time identification of your customer. You provide your identity, you provide possibly your driving license. It is verified and a digital signature is added to it. We then make sure that this gets used as you go from operator to operator. You just present that credential, very similar to roaming. You are verified, you use the other operator's car, and the handling and the billing all happens end-to-end. So companies can get together. Each company, just like in the Star Alliance group of airlines, can sell aggregated services that are available all over the platform to their customer. They keep their customer relationship, but they can deliver a service that is beyond what they could deliver. The scooter company, all of a sudden, can deliver Berlin all-you-can-move, including car sharing, including bus, including tram, and never lose their customers. A big part of this is decentralized identifiers, and from the collaboration part also here for China, in China we are working with a company called ITOS, which is part of the Wanxiang group. They provide the Boat SDK, which is an IoT blockchain SDK, which is built into the communication unit of your car, and it is used to give the car an identity. We also work with the Wanxiang group in order to verify the identities of customers using the Chinese EID system, which is very sophisticated and very secure in the way it verifies the identities of individual customers and allows them to provide digital signatures. And last but not least, we have migrated our Blocksmove mobility platform to the Plat 1 platform, which belongs to the company Jusics, which ultimately belongs to the Wanxiang group. All right, now we will show you a short video in which you see how all of this comes and plays together.
The Blocksmove mobility blockchain platform provides an end-to-end solution for all things mobility as a service. This video gives an overview of the platform's core capabilities and why our decentralized protocol-based solutions are the perfect match for the future of mobility. Our end-to-end journey starts at the Blocksmove Fleet Portal. The portal can be used by any fleet operator to manage multiple fleets within a single web service. Here we see 2 vehicles being added to the fleet of 2 different operators. Utilizing decentralized technologies, the fleet portal makes fleet provisioning an easy task. The so-called service packages are the portal's element to define things like rental rates and necessary user credentials to book a service. Different service packages can be assigned to the vehicles easily and make the vehicle ready to book. The vehicles are equipped with a telematics box embedding Boat SDK in order to create a unique identity of the car on the chain, a decentralized ID. This enables a real-time status data update of the vehicle to be recorded on the blockchain, as well as lean, secure and flexible handling of fleets of all sizes. Let's switch roles and see how this looks from a user point of view. The process of authenticating a user and verifying his or her credentials is called Know Your Customer, or KYC for short. Blocksmove supports all trusted KYC providers through which we issue DIDs for our users. With their DID, users are then able to roam freely through any services on the platform. For our partners in China, we will be able to support Chinese EID as well. The vehicle that we saw being put into service can now be directly booked through a mobility app. Here, the Blocksmove transaction management comes into play. Based on the identities and credentials, contracts can be made and settled. These transactions, of course, meet all legal requirements and can be integrated into any accounting system. Shifting back to the operator's view, we can see the vehicle booking status as well as the data of the vehicle and battery. Since the booking transaction, as well as vehicle data being recorded on the blockchain in real time, a trustworthy golden history of usage for both the vehicle and battery can be established. With the completion of a booking, the transaction data is booked and settled with the help of Blocksmove's transaction layer. Our protocol-based handling of transaction settlement is highly efficient, which enables even more granular business models around service roaming. The Blocksmove platform has a clear focus on the integration of any business around mobility services. We aim to provide a platform enabling the update of information from a non-digital asset like a vehicle or a battery onto the blockchain without manual operation.
So, having introduced Blocksmove to you, what are our plans for China and who is Blocksmove? Blocksmove is a foundation actually for 2 more scenarios to apply the very same technology. Block's power is where electric batteries and the vehicles are dealt with as 2 assets whose record, whose history is stored on the blockchain. Why? Because an unbroken and secure history allows perfect transparency, which is very important when you need to calculate the residual value of that asset. And that is very important when you need to finance and operate these devices. So, part of what we do together with the Wanxiang group is precisely not only to optimize the residual value of the vehicle, but also to work on blockchain-based and identity-based approaches that apply this to the electric vehicles, potentially pluggable electric vehicles. And last but not least, you can apply everything that you see in the mobility sector more or less one-to-one to the logistics sector. That lies a little bit further out in the future, and with that I would like to conclude, and I would like to say I'm really looking forward to be here more often, because I do believe Blocksmove will be present in China in the not too far future. And with that I say thank you to you, thank you to the colleagues from Wanxiang, thank you to the colleagues from ITOS, and thank you to the colleagues from Jusics.